Hey guys, what's up, Porkchopper here, and today we're looking at the new adjusted card Ash of the Witch and 5 heroes I believe the card to be best on. Let me know in the comments below what hero you think best suits the card and why. One thing too, quickly, is that most of the gameplay you will see here is against bots. For one, because to capture the gameplay with all these heroes would take forever normally, and two, to really show off the potential of this card on the heroes I state in the video. But without any further delays, let's get right into it. First, what is Ash of the Witch card and what does it do exactly? Well, it's a 6-point card that gives you 12 power and a unique passive slow on ability hit. Enemies hit by ability get slowed by minus 150 max movement speed for 1 second. It cannot be triggered more than once in that second or by the same ability, even though some do, which we'll get to in a sec. This also does stack with some slows, apparently like Phase Bramble or Sarah's Chastise, but say Gadget's Seek and Destroy Mine doesn't apply the extra slow buff from what it seems. I could be slightly wrong here, as a lot of experimenting is needed to truly find out. But let's jump into the heroes I feel it to be most useful on. First is Shimbi. I mean, almost feels like this card was made for her. With her dash and circle rhythm abilities, it's good, but line tempo is the one that just makes it perfect for her. It has a 2-second cooldown, long range at 1500 units, and is mainly focused at keeping your stacks alive. Now with the slow from Ash of the Witch, you can keep them at a distance while building stacks or catch them up. It makes that poking tool even more scary. You can see here against this rampage I can keep a safe distance while he chases me due to the slow, and if you don't know, you move slower walking backwards, but this changes the game for sure. Against those carries, slowing them and staying at a longer range means it's very hard for them to attack you, and you can build your stacks if you just time it right and keep your distance. So this card right now is a must for Shimbi. Another hero very similar to Shimbi that benefits off this card is Countess. With a high burst damage, an enemy wants to stay far away as possible, especially those squishy heroes, but adding extra slow onto that can be very nasty. With a Dark Tide, of course any enemy hero hit by this will be slowed, meaning multiple enemy heroes can be all slowed at once. With Shadow Slip at level 4 applies a minus 150 slow, and I believe this stacks, so that means if you add 150 slow from Ash of the Witch, that's a minus 700 movement slow, which is rather insane and almost gives them a complete standstill. It's great to stun them, then move around them so it's hard for them to hit you, and you can pull the rest of your abilities off, as you are very weak, so you need to stay agile. Of course, you can spam your abilities over time, slowing them down and catching them up. Best combo is to use Dark Tide to get close to the enemy, then Shadow Slip for the long slow. Ult and go from there, but that should be enough to kill most enemies late game. Now let's imagine Igin Scorch was a viable hero. I made a video on this only a few days back, which you should totally check out on my channel, but he still needs all the help he can get. Adding Ash of the Witch now makes his turrets every 1.5 seconds apply that second slow, meaning that heroes will stay in the turret range for a lot longer. Multiple turrets won't stack the slow, but an enemy as seen here stays in the turret for long periods of time, the slow will apply again. The same is with his oil spill. This means you want to combo these a bit slower, so place the turret down and let the enemy hero get hit by the turret for the slow. Wait a second, then add the oil spill on top for the extra slow and of course the initial damage. It does apply with his ultimate also, which is nice, but it's not super effective. It's not the reason you would use Ash of the Witch on Iggy. Iggy is still in a very rough spot, but this helps somewhat. Right, the next one is which many people may think differently about, but it is Crunch. He uses a lot of the abilities as it stands, and with his knock-up right crunch, it also at a high levels applies a minus 350 movement speed reduction, and at the 150 from Ash of the Witch, it's a whole minus 500 movement speed reduction, which is a crazy slow. And for Crunch, he can get around them and do the crazy combos he can, while the enemy hero is pretty much standing still. His left crunch is great too. It has a little longer range than his basic attacks and can make him catch enemies up just to get the big damage off. You would combo the exact same way with before as him, it doesn't change that much up, but maybe now you use your right crunch first to be initiate with the crazy slow instead of the empowered one which knocks enemies up in the air. It's your choice really. The reason people don't think it's useful on him is well because he already does that decent slow with his right crunch, and with his forward crunch he can get to and away from enemies rather easily, but it's something to experiment with for sure with different builds. Now I have saved the best till last. Can you guess who it is? Well, it's Twin Blast. Yes, in most IT is the worst carry right now after recent changes, but Ash of the Witch changes that. It applies to his triple tap, grenade and ultimate. Being able to slow enemies and keep them at a distance is so important for carry, and this helps massively. His triple tap can slow enemies' movement so you can stay at a good range and flank them, then the grenade as shown here can be shot and slow enemies down just enough for you to catch them up getting the final blow. A game changer in my eyes, and well his ult, let it speak for itself. I doubt it's going to stay like this, honestly. I mean, every single hit applies the slow, which may have been an overlook at Epic at Twins ult, and it does crazy amount of damage. I mean, at level 3 it can do over 1000 damage, and if you have an ally with you, this is just easy kills. Something to try out and have fun with while it lasts. Of course, these aren't the only heroes as the Witch benefits off. Bellica's Voidjoin with each hit slows enemies, and Face stacks with her Brambles. And the list goes on. Just these 5 in my opinion suit the card best. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.